hides his identity. God knows what's there under the name Barry Soetoro. We don't know. For that reason alone, people get disbarred. People can get criminally prosecuted. But of course, in Chicago, that's normal. What else can you expect in Chicago? So we do have this serious problem. So now I'm going to do an overview of what I've done on this issue. I will give information on the legal actions that were done. I will give you information on harassment, intimidation, retaliation that Obama regime has used on people like me and my plaintiffs, so you'll get an idea how dirty they play. And afterwards, I can give you some ideas what you can do to make a difference. Because I truly believe that one person can make a difference, and I'm a living example of that. Amen. Just a year ago, I was just like everybody here in this room, watching the news, watching the debates, and just trying to educate myself in regards to the election. And I started seeing information that was quite troubling in regards to eligibility. I saw this report from Indonesia showing his citizenship to be Indonesian. So how in the world a person with Indonesian citizenship running for presidency of the United States of America? That made no sense to me. I started seeing reports about him possibly being born in Kenya. And by the way, the latest case in California, I have submitted not only all the information showing that Obama has obfuscated his original birth certificate, that he has never provided a hospital birth certificate that would show the name of the hospital. Does anybody know in what hospital he really was born? Nobody knows. Nobody has seen a hospital birth certificate. One of my clients, Dr. Rhodes, was on the stand, and she was telling the judge, Your Honor, I'm a doctor. I was a doctor in Chicago. I got my training there. You cannot be born in this country and not have a hospital birth certificate that would show the name of the hospital, the name of the attending physician, and signatures. You cannot be born in this country and not have a hospital birthing file. There has to be a big, thick file with all the information. I'm a mother. I gave birth to 3 children. I know what's supposed to be there. A person can maybe forge one piece of paper. You cannot forge a whole file. There has to be a file with statements from OBGYN, from a pediatrician, from nurses, from insurance, from admissions, from discharge, from lab results. What is it? Why nobody could ever find a birthing file for baby Barack Hussein Obama being born in this country? What we did find, though, we found a birth certificate from Kenya. And not one, but 2. One from registrar and one from the hospital. And those did have all the information. I actually visited the consulate of Kenya. However, they refused to provide any further information. And does anybody know why? Does anybody know the relationship between the Prime Minister of Kenya and Barack Hussein Obama? Cousins, yeah. Raila Odinga, Prime Minister of Kenya, is the cousin of Barack Hussein Obama. And Obama did campaign for him in violation of Logan Act. Just for that, he should have been investigated, criminally investigated. Nothing ever happened. But he did campaign for Raila Odinga in Kenya. I have presented to court this information and request for letters rogatory, where I'm asking the court to give me an opportunity to do proper investigation and authentication. He claims he was born in this country. Well, let's look at those birth certificates. Let's get one that he claims to have from a hospital in Hawaii And let's get one from Kenya, and let's see which one is authentic. So far, all we got is one from Kenya. We never seen any hospital birth certificate from any hospital in Hawaii. By the way, also to get an idea who is in the media, do we have anybody from the media here? Anybody? How many state representatives or state senators and officials? Can you just raise your hands? Okay. And you are a state representative, sir? And could I get your name?
Danny Steele.
Okay, thank you, sir. So at least I know who is in the audience and what information you have or don't have and what can be done. So I started investigating. Nobody could find Obama's hospital birth certificate. We saw this information that he possibly was born in Kenya. We had this information that he was a citizen of Indonesia, that he was a British citizen at birth. So I have contacted the Secretary of State of California, Deborah Bowen, and I asked, what documents did you use to authenticate Obama's candidacy for president? And she did respond. And to my shock, I found out that they used nothing. Absolutely nothing. The way it works today in the United States of America, those secretaries of state are pretty much worthless. They check nothing, and they do nothing. They get a declaration of a candidate, and they take it on face value. They check absolutely nothing, and they put the name on the ballot. It was absolutely shocking. I created a blog. And right away I had a lot of supporters and followers from all over the nation. I had millions of hits on my blog. And I asked my supporters to contact their secretaries of state and see if there was one secretary of state in the whole nation who checked Obama's documents, who has ever seen his birth certificate. Nobody did. The situation is such that not one single Secretary of State checks anything. What they are claiming is that they are not an investigative agency, that therefore it's not their job. We have a serious problem today, and Obama is probably the catalyst, it's just the beginning, to show the whole country how corrupt our ruling elite is, to show how bad things are, to show how ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous things are. So I've written an article, and I believe it was called Next Time Osama bin Laden Can Be on Your Ballot. And I argued, if nobody checks anything, then hypothetically speaking, next time we can have somebody like Osama bin Laden come to this country, put his name on the ballot, get, $700 million from Saudi Arabia. God knows he has plenty of money. He could become our next president. I mean, hypothetically speaking, anybody, absolutely anybody can be on the ballot. Nobody checks anything. So this article was published in a local newspaper. I got a phone call from a supporter who stated that she wanted me to come to a meeting of voters. So I came to this meeting, and Pastor Wiley Drake was there, and he has a radio show actually in California and New York. And after he heard me